I'm very passionate about coding, and I think Python and Scratch are two amazing languages to learn. They are very accessible to most of the kids, but at the same time they can be challenging. In Python, I like that the course starts with the very basics. So we start with just the idea of a variable. We start what is, and then we move on to much more complex stuff. They could create a program that does something useful. For example, given the parameters, calculate the square footage of a house or something like that. We build up and then we finalize it with one fantastic project.
You can start the course with zero knowledge at all when it comes to coding. It's a very social atmosphere, so the kids, they interact with each other, they help each other. It's really personalized too, so if students need more help, I can slow that down the lesson and focus on what they're struggling on. There's an aspect of project-based learning as well, so they're not just mindlessly doing tasks, they're going to create something really big and something they can be proud of at the end. So I've noticed that the kids, they get a lot more confident after they've been through a lesson or two, so they're asking more questions. But they're not just confident with coding, they become more confident with talking about technology and things they see and news they've heard. And it's really nice to get young children into just noticing the different bits of tech and the future around them.
After a few months of lessons, I've noticed that the answers that my students give me are much more structured, they're more logical, as if they started thinking slightly differently. Well, I could say thinking algorithmically. And this is great for me to see, not only because they get better at coding, but because their mind is more structured to complete other types of tasks. So with this approach, they can be more successful in other subjects as well.
I think parents would like this course because they're helping their kids learn a skill that isn't currently taught in most schools. And it's not just a skill, it's something that's going to be very vital to the future. If their child isn't particularly into like maths or English, they can get them into another important subject where there's no requirement to be good at anything else in school. It's just coding is something that's for everyone, and by getting parents to get their kids to code, they're kind of unlocking a new talent that the kid might not have known about previously.
Parents love to see when the kids are enjoying learning, and I think this is definitely the case. Also, it is very important that the parents understand that the kids are not just having fun, but also gaining very important skills that they will use in the future.
So I think what the kids like the most about Algorithmics is the fact that they're building something real. They can physically see it go from a couple of lines of code to this real project in front of their eyes. And the social aspect is a big part of it as well. They can speak to other kids their age and then talk about the things they're into, like in terms of coding and projects they can create together. So it's really encouraging that collaboration and problem solving with other people.
Well, I think kids enjoy completing challenging tasks, and they get a small rush every time they complete a program and it works. That is an amazing thing to see in a child. They like to talk about their programs with each other in the group, and of course they want to produce a fantastic project to the envy of all the others. So they kind of compete who's going to get a better project.